And I feel like there's a lot of hold for plane. Let's hold for a plane. No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I'm not like I'm recording anything. You know this. You know my schedule. You know my schedule, Burbank Airport.
3, 2, 1, bro.
What's up, everybody? My name is Nick Murphy. I'm one half of the Brothers Murph, and this is a bit of a video on why I think more people don't play board games. I was talking about this with Mike recently, and we were discussing what is it that keeps people out of board games. I feel like a lot of people have a lot of different ideas on what it is that keeps people out of the board game hobby, because we're all in it and we all know how wonderful it is, and I feel like most of us want more people in the hobby. So I feel like a lot of people think that the stigma is what keeps people out, that people go like, oh, I hate Monopoly, why would I play board games? But I don't think that's the main thing. What I think the main reason why more people don't play board games is because board games is one of those things that you kind of have to be led into. I'd be willing to bet that most of us, almost every single person here, was led into board games by someone else. Now, not everyone is going to be that way. Some people might have just been like, this seems cool, or maybe played board games with their parents and wanted to get back into it. But I bet you that most of us got introduced to strategy board games, more modern board games, from someone else. Someone said, hey, I got this game Catan, do you want to play it? Hey, I got this game Pandemic, do you want to play it? I know I got introduced to Pandemic. I then introduced Mike. I'm usually the one who introduces all my friends. And I think that's the main thing that holds board games back. That thing being that someone has to take your hand and go, hey, come on this journey with me. Let's play these games. Let's get into this world. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to jump into the world and be as immersed as we are, but it's one of those things, people really do have to lead you into it. And it's tough to grow a hobby like that. A lot of hobbies grow through word of mouth and people stumbling upon it, and board games isn't really that way. I oftentimes get very frustrated when I'm at a board game store, or particularly at a board game cafe, our local board game cafe game house. I get very frustrated because almost every single person there is playing like Monopoly, Jenga, Life, something like that. These very generic board games that give board games a bad name. All of these games are almost always the ones that get played by far the most. By far the most. And I understand people not understanding that there's a whole world, that there's all these games. I totally get that people don't know that. But when you're at a board game cafe and you can see there's like 900 games there, and you walk over and grab Jenga, and I'm always like, why? How could you pick one of these. Pick one of these, they're so much better. But the last time we were at the game cafe, I was looking around at people playing these very generic games that give board games a really bad rap, and I started really thinking about it, and I started to understand them a little more. I said, I get it. I get why they don't, because no one has led them into this hobby. Because if you put me in a whole room with a bunch of board games that I didn't know, I would pick the ones I'm familiar with. Especially with board games, a lot of people know that some board games are very heavy, have a lot of strategy, and if you have no idea what you're picking, you're essentially just going by box cover. And you know what's got a really cool box cover? TI4! You grab a big old game, like, oh, this looks cool, oh, look at these cool little minis, oh, look at this cool, like, lion dude on the front, this looks fun, let's play this. And then you find out it's like an 11-hour game. And it's like, I could totally understand that you start opening the rule book and you're like, yeah, let's play Scrabble. I totally get that. And I'm starting to really understand that that is the thing that holds us back the most. And again, it's not anybody doing anything specific, like, you're the one causing the board game hobby to not grow. It's something we all need to be conscious of, is that people need to be led into the hobby. You need to bring people in. You take their hand and go like, hey, I'm going to show you some games. Hey, I'm going to show you this wonderful hobby we have. I'm going to bring you into this world. Because if you don't, the board game hobby will grow. It is growing right now, but it's not going to grow nearly as fast. And we're not going to be able to share this wonderful gift that we have with this wall of games behind us with anyone else. And so I really think that everyone should really be conscious of that and really go out there and try to introduce a new person to board games this week, this month. Try to really be conscious of that, and try not to look down on people who pick the games they're familiar with, because frankly, why wouldn't they? So this video is going to kick off a little mini series that we're going to do. Mike and I are going to start a little 5, maybe 6 video series, little mini series that's basically going to be how to grow the board game hobby. What you can do on an individual basis to grow the hobby. And it'll probably be one-on-one stuff. Some of it might be more big kind of umbrella stuff, but we kind of want to go into how can we change things? How can we make things better? Because board games getting more popular and more mainstream will only do so much. It really comes down to you. It comes down to me to take people's hand and move them into the board gaming world. So let's do that. Let's all grab hands and let's all walk towards board gaming together. Bring people in, share the love, share the hobby, let heart, and let's do this. Let's make this hobby as big as video games. I hope so. I don't know, but fingers crossed. I wanted to get that big because it's the best. So take someone's hand and let's bring them on for a ride. Have a good one.
Be honest. Do you think you're quick enough and possess the dexterity to snatch a bird out of the air mid-flight? These are the things I wonder about. While you're thinking about that, check out Restoration Games. They sponsor us, and we have information for where to find them and their great games in the description below. That's probably quick enough. Click over here, by the way.